On the first pitch-black night, Sarah sat alone in her living room, enveloped in the comforting cocoon of her worn-out armchair. The clock ticked dutifully toward midnight, each second marking her late-night solitude. The quaint suburban street lay silent, the only sound being the soft hum of the distant city that gradually fell asleep. Then the doorbell rang. Startled, Sarah rose cautiously and glanced at the security monitor by the side table. Nothing but the pale glow of her porch lamp greeted her. No figure, no movement. Yet the doorbell persisted, its shrill call echoing the mysterious emptiness of the night. Curiosity and trepidation coalesced as she approached the door. Through the peephole, she saw nothing but the dim-lit porch. Slowly, hesitant fingers twisted the knob, pulling the door ajar, and there she stood, another her, poised precisely where she would be had she not chosen to open the door. The alter ego mirrored her shock, eyes wide, a hand suspended awkwardly in the air as if frozen in the act of knocking again. A gut-twisting panic clamped Sarah's chest, and she slammed the door shut. Her heart's rhythm rivaled the pounding blood in her ears. Sarah backed away, hoping senselessly the doppelganger had been a trick of sleepy eyes, a blink or hallucination. Silently, she crept back to her seat, her mind refusing resolution. Yet the doorbell didn't relent. It chimed again, forcing Sarah to confront her disbelief. This time, she didn't bother checking the monitor or the peephole. She flung the door open. The doppelganger stood there, but instead of facing her, it stepped forward into the house. Sarah should have been terrified, paralyzed, but instead, she felt drawn, as if the fabric of her identity was at odds. The other Sarah, identical in every way, now stood in her living room. Desperate to grasp sanity, she turned to her phone, soon surrounded by neighbors who found her frantic call curious. When they reviewed CCTV footage, the mystery deepened. There had been no one walking up her driveway, no one at her door. But the eye of the camera told only part of the truth. It captured Sarah herself crossing the threshold and stepping back inside, shutting the world outside. Confounded, the neighbors dispersed, whispering incredulously. Sarah sat in her own living room, the air thick with an uncanny presence she couldn't banish nor analyze. Night after night, the doppelganger revisited her door. Each time the bell rang, Sarah answered, and each time, nothing appeared on the CCTV. Yet each time, the doppelganger entered. Questions clawed at the edges of her reality, challenging her connection to the world she lived in. Gradually, Sarah became less certain of who she was, or the name she had walked under for decades. The visits blurred her existence until she couldn't recall the initial exchange, the original confrontation. Now, as she lingered inside, both Sarahs roamed her home, parallel whispers in the still and shadowed corners. Only when she glanced at her reflection did she see them merge. The doppelganger's features would shift subtly, the eyes betraying a depth she struggled vainly to interpret.